This light is an absolute little mini pocket thrower beast. Look at that at 100 meters. It absolutely demolishes that tree. You can see it like daytime. How cool is that? Look, even the very tip, which is even further than 100 meters. That's awesome as. Hey everyone, it's Chris here from Everyday Survival Gear, and today I bring you the review of the Klarus XT12GT. It's basically a fully done up stock light. It uses the XHP35 to output 1600 lumens at 600 meters. So we'll call this a modded C8 killer because that's what it is. It's a modded C8 killer. Let's get the review started. Actually, one more thing before we start. It had a what's it called? Tactical ring, which I dropped, so that's missing now. That's not going to be in the review because it's MIA. It was dark and I wanted to change the batteries out, and that's about it. Now we can get the review started. Alright guys, so in front of me we got the Klarus XT12GT. Basically we'll just run through what it came with first, as usual, remembering that I'm missing the tactical ring, so that part's pretty sucky. But yeah, it came with the sheath. Is it called a sheath or a I don't know, flashlight holder? They call it something different. I'll just call it a sheath. The lanyard, you get the clip which comes on the light itself. You actually get an included 18650 because this is a rechargeable light with an inbuilt charger. So they reckon that this is a what's it called, a Tesla cell from their cars. I'm not sure. I did check it. It holds about 3500 milliamps, so it's pretty close to its rated mark. But my charger doesn't go all the way down to 2.5 volts like this cell can. Leave that there, that there. That's the charging port there, and I got the charger here. So you get the USB cable, magnetic charger, charging block, spare O-ring, and as usual instruction manual. Yeah, and obviously this has like an included light with it, which I'll show you guys later. It's got a little light that's built in. Let's move on with the review. Alright guys, first of all we'll run through the features. So it's got a magnetic charger with self-locating base. That's basically just that inbuilt light. It's not like self-locating as in it'll find itself. Programmable user interface, extreme spotlight capability, rugged reliability, patented features. So I don't know what's patented on it because everything seems pretty out there to me, but if they say so, then they say so. Klarus always say that too. Compact size for ease of use and carry. Features Cree LED XHP35D4, illuminates up to 603 meters. So it's basically a thrower, but I wouldn't really call it a dedicated thrower, considering I was looking at the through nights and they got lights now that throw 1500 meters. I'm pretty sure that Klarus have lights too that throw further than this, but it's kind of like an in-between. It's no longer like, it's not floody, but then it's not an extreme thrower. It's kind of in the middle. Actually, before we move on, I'll say it throws about the same as my modded C8 with an XPG3 running direct drive. They put out almost about the same output too. They're pretty similar, so that's great to compare those two. So ready for duty with included Klarus 18GT36 18650. So that's what they named their battery. So it's same as featured in Tesla electric cars. Yeah, so Tesla uses these batteries apparently. They're Panasonic cells. So yeah, that's always great to know because Panasonic are the only ones that make the 3600 milliamp hour batteries. Easy user interface, one touch strobe, one touch turbo, one touch low, memory mode, SOS, capability indicator, convenient magnetic recharging, ITS temperature control, quick mode change. Yeah, they kind of muddled everything up here, didn't they? Now I know what the patent is. It's for the dual switches at the back. So you got a power switch and you got a mode select switch. This is a mechanical lockout, so that's on now. and this is an electronic switch, which is just there to change modes. Cool. So that's a patented design, but I have seen other manufacturers using something similar, but obviously it wouldn't be exactly the same because this is the Klarus system. So basically it's got two user interfaces. You got the tactical settings or the outdoor settings, which we'll run through later. It uses a convenient magnetic charger, self-locating base, which I've already said, which is good, I guess, and also a bit shady because it does work great. But you can see it's sealed off from the outside. Obviously, if you use a USB port, that can only offer so much protection before, you know, it gives way or goes. So this is pretty much like, it's not going to let any dirt in or water. But then on the other side too, is if you break it, unfortunately, like how much then is it going to cost to replace? That's what I'm thinking about because I'm a tight ass. But yeah. So magnetic charger, yeah, we already said that. 1 amp charging quickly, back in action. So basically the charger at a certain voltage, it'll charge the included cell at 1 amp, or if the voltage is at say 4 volts, it's not going to charge it at 1 amp, so it has to be below, I think, like 3.8 volts or something. So it's got Klarus's usual ITS temperature control for real-time monitoring. It does step down. Obviously it's not going to stay at 1600 lumens for the whole time. Step down's more like a ramping. You won't notice it as much until it's not as well lit, the area. So it doesn't just drop modes like willy-nilly. Capacity indicator, springs are bezel and tail resistant shock and drop damage. So this has got dual springs at the front and back. I'm not sure how they're drop resistant, but Klarus say that they're drop resistant. It's got like some sort of plastic rings around it. Maybe that helps a little bit with the drop resistance. Reverse polarity protection. Obviously it's made out of aerospace aluminium alloy body. Military spec hard anodizing type 3. Lightweight and robust, which it is. It is really, really lightweight. It's good. Stainless steel ring, bezel ring, offers protection for crucial components. So the stainless steel is stronger than the alloy. So, you know, when you hit it against something, it's not going to dent like the alloy could, because it's a lot stronger. I'm surprised that they didn't use polished stainless steel, because I would have thought, you know, stainless steel, this kind of looks like it's more alloy, but it's not. It's actually just that color stainless steel. Of course, AR coated glass with scratch resistance. And yeah, that's pretty much all the specs there. And as always, I seem to forget, but this light was sent to me by Gearbest. I'll leave a link in the description where you can purchase it. It's going for a pretty good price. We'll say it's going for like 66-year-olds. I can't say the price because of map, but I can say it's somewhere around about a 66-year-old person would be. What else can we use? I don't know. 3.6 Mafia. I don't know. It's about like around that price. I'll still leave the coupon in the video where you can check out the price anyway, so that'll be easy. So we'll run over the size before we run over the user modes and output and stuff. Yeah, so you can see it's not actually too massive compared to these other lights. Convoy C8 here, BLF D80 here, and the XT12GT here. So it is a little bit longer, but not by too much, as you can see. If I put these laying on the side, we'll have a look at the fronts. Oh, it's actually a pretty nice photo. I might snap a pic of this. It looks nice. Yeah, so you can see the reflectors are pretty similar size. The C8 reflector and the XT12GT is similar size and width, but the XT12GT is a little bit deeper. The BLF D80 obviously has the shortest, but I think you only get about 450 meters of throw out of that, maybe 500. This C8 should be good for about 700, 750. And the Klarus XT12GT should be good for, they say, 600 meters. I reckon with the reflector and the output, you might be able to get a little bit over that. But yeah, you can see they're all like pretty similar in size. I think that if Klarus didn't go with the dual tail switches on the back, and they use the electronic switch, it would have been like the same length. But also you got to leave room too for the charging module, which is going to take up extra space that the other two don't offer. Yeah, so as I was saying, we'll just run over the sizes of them. Compact and lightweight. So the bezel is 45.2 millimeters in width. The body is 25.4 millimeters in width, and the overall length is 161.5 millimeters in length. So it's basically 16.15 centimeters long. It is the longest out of these, but as I was saying, it's not too bad. You could still EDC this if you did need a pocket thrower with extreme output. Just like, unfortunately, to have a charging module inside is going to make it that little bit longer, and then to use a tower switch is then going to make it a little bit longer too, but it's not too bad. It does weigh actually pretty much the same as a C8. My C8 weighs more than this actually. The XT12GT comes in at 159 grams without the battery, of course. My C8 without the battery is actually like 170, 180. You gotta, I think also too, I've got like a different setup inside. So yeah, now we'll move on to the output and we'll see how that does. Alright guys, so basically there's two user settings that you can change between. There's a tactical setting and there's an outdoor setting, so the choice is yours. I would prefer to use the outdoor setting. To me it's more useful for what I use it for. Basically the outdoor setting gives you access to turbo, high, medium and low. You can access that all different ways. There's so many different options here that I don't think I can possibly tell you all. But in the outdoor setting, you got push and push the power button to get into turbo. So that's momentary turbo. Or you push and hold till it clicks and it accesses turbo properly. The momentary switch gets you into low mode, and if you push and hold that, it'll keep low mode on. So that'll be 10 lumens there. Turbo mode is 1600 lumens. So in this setting that I have it in now, we'll push and hold. So that's 1600 lumens on there. Then we'll click down. That'll take us to low mode, which is 10 lumens. Then we've got medium mode, 100 lumens. You can see it's slowly getting brighter. Then high mode, 400 lumens. You can see that PWM there is pretty bad actually on the camera. I can't see it in person, but on the camera it looks pretty bad. Then back up and we get turbo mode. No PWM on turbo mode, but this is the outdoor setting. Then to access SOS, you got to, I believe when it's on, we'll try it now. Push and hold the selection button, which gives you SOS, which is at 100 lumens. It's got a strobe mode, but you got to be in tactical setting to use strobe mode. You can't access strobe mode from what I can see in the outdoor setting, which is okay because strobe mode isn't going to be used that much anyway. I think it's more useful to have a proper low mode than strobe mode anyway. So yeah, either way we'll switch it over and I'll run you through the tacticals settings and we'll see how that goes. Alright guys, now to change user modes isn't exactly hard, but it's a bit of a pain, especially depending on what mode you got it in. They could have made it like a little bit quicker, but at least it's easy to remember. So you hold down the mode select button, so we'll see that that's on. You got to hold it for 10 seconds, which isn't too bad, and then you got to push the power button once this indicator light here blinks. Which I can't even see. Has it been 10 seconds yet? Should have been 8, right? Alright, so now it's actually in tactical setting. That is the way to change it. You got to hold this button right for 10 seconds, or mode select button. Then the indicator will blink red and then green. And then you got to push the power button while still holding the mode select button. So it's not too hard, but I'll show you what I don't like about it right now is that if it's on tactical settings and you're holding the mode select button, it's going to strobe you the whole time, which is a bit of a pain. so I don't like that aspect about it, but otherwise it is easy to remember, and the 10 seconds isn't too bad. I've seen like a lot worse systems to change around the modes. So overall it's pretty good actually. Just don't use strobe in a room that's very white, or else you're going to be stuffed. Alright, so just lost my voice there for a minute. Alright, so now we got it in tactical settings. Basically, if you push and hold the mode select button, it's got momentary turbo if you push and hold the power button, or you just momentary it, so that's momentary. You can momentary strobe, so that's strobe, or if you push and hold this for 2 seconds, strobe will stay on, which now you'll see strobe is on. Then we should just be able to push it and it turns off. So that's pretty easy. Once you turn it on, the XT12GT, like so, it'll turn on turbo mode, so 1600 lumens. Then we'll cycle down and we'll go high. It gives you high mode, which is 400 lumens. And then we got straight to medium mode. No, sorry, straight to low mode, guys. That's my bad. Straight to low mode, which is 10 lumens. So it bypasses the medium mode, and it bypasses SOS. You can't actually access medium mode and SOS on these on the tactical settings. Alright, now we'll just run over the features and we'll take apart the light and whatnot. Yeah, so explaining the modes isn't actually hard. Well, it's hard to explain them, but once you got it in your hand and you have a play with it, you'll realize that it's pretty easy. So I'll run through the modes again, just so you guys know. Turbo mode is 1600 lumens for 1.2 hours. High mode is 400 lumens for 4 hours. Medium mode is 100 lumens for 14 hours. Low mode is 10 lumens for 200 hours. Strobe is 1600 lumens for 2.4 hours, and SOS is 100 lumens for 42 hours. So that SOS, if you ever lost, you should be able to leave it on for a while and not have to worry. Its peak beam intensity is 90,902, so that gives it a max beam distance of 603 meters. Impact resistant to 1 meter, and IPX8 to underwater 2 meters, which is great for a tactical light. The impact resistance is a little bit lower because it will be using a boost driver to get the lithium ion from 4 volts to 12 volts. It's a 12 volt LED, the XHP35HI. This can be run obviously on the 18650, or you can also run it on CR123s. So its working voltage is from 2.5 volts to 8.4 volts. So you can either use CR123s or 16340s. You can't charge those inside here, unfortunately. Build quality wise, it's great. I like it. It feels good. Only qualm that I had was a tactical ring wasn't attached, and then I dropped it and now it's lost. It does get a tad warm when you're using it on turbo mode, but it's got the ITS intelligent controlling that Klarus has, so it's going to step down automatically. It's not a time step down, it's a thermal step down. The AR coated glass, you can see the XHP35 inside there. I would have liked this to be like polished probably, but that's not too bad. It actually works, it does its job. It's got like anti-roll features on the body. It's got the cooling fins, that's a charging port there. The clip isn't exactly a deep carry clip, but it does a pretty good job. We'll hook up the charger, even though I don't have anything out here to charge it with. The charging dock itself actually comes with a inbuilt light, which is 10 lumens, a warm white light. You can see that that's pretty warm there. That attaches easy magnetically, like so. Then you put your standard USB 2 cable, micro USB 2 cable inside there. Then you can charge the battery at 1 amp. Alright, I'll just show you the tail cap. That's the inside of the tail cap. You can see double springs there. I put my own grease on it actually, didn't have that much grease. I've already taken the tail cap apart, so it's a bit scratched. It's actually pretty good build quality. Actually, it's very good build quality. I shouldn't even say pretty. The dual springs will help with current. It does have this plastic barrier around it, which I think they mean if you drop it that'll help kind of like absorb the shock. Taking it apart, I realized that one's a mechanical switch and one's an electronic switch. So basically, they could have just used the side switch, but Klarus went with a different system. That's up to them. It's actually good. I kind of enjoy it. I like having the feel of, you can turn it on, hold it like so, turn it on and change modes. It's a lot easier than having to reach around to the front of the light and push a button. You can see the driver there, double springs on that side. And there's also one of those plastic retaining rings around it for some reason, which, yeah, that'll help actually to help with shorts in case the battery slips and you can get a short. Inside the body, actually, I don't know what it is, but there seems to be like some sort of tube in here that spins. You can see that that's spinning. That's great. It helps keep the 18650 snug and tight. Alright guys, hopefully that there's enough light. Not really, is there? Yeah, I know I'm probably forgetting like 100 things, but yeah, so before I do forget, the last thing that I wanted to add was the charging dock here actually has a LED indicator around it, which acts as a battery capacity indicator, and also when you're charging it, it's going to light either green or red to tell you whether the battery is charging or full. I'll just read out how the battery indicator works. If the battery is from 70 to 100%, this will be green, like full on green. Green means go, you know how it is. Orange indicator will be on if it's between 30 to 70%, so there's an orange indicator inside here too. Red indicator, less than 30% charge, so it'll be on full time like red. When power is less than 10%, the indicator light will illuminate red and flicker to alert user that capacity is critical. So critical mass. Yeah, so it lasts for 5 seconds when you turn it on. I never had a tactical light by Klarus, so I don't know if that's a new system by them or whatnot, or maybe they've been watching my videos and my reviews of the Rofus and they just decided, oh, that sounds good. Just kidding. Who watches my videos, huh? You know who you are. Yeah, that's basically about it. I know I forgot like 100 things, but yeah. So the reason why I actually asked for this light was so I could compare it to the UTorch UT02. So we're going to go down to a park and flash some people in the head and see how they don't like it, and they'll probably start a fight with me. It's getting dark. No, it's not even getting dark. It's only 6 o'clock. It's gonna get dark soon, so we'll head out and we'll see how they do. And any specs that I forgot to put in here, I'll throw them in when we're at the park. Alright guys, another test you've been waiting for. I'm basically just going to hold the flashlights against the wall. I'll move the camera back a slight tad, and we'll see how they do against each other. This will kind of tell you which one should be able to throw further. The one with the tightest hotspot should be able to throw further. Right now I've got the Klarus XT12GT on, and then I just put the UTorch UT02 on. I think it's a little bit too bright, the UTorch right now. You kind of got to compare them when they're similar brightnesses, or else it doesn't really work. So like so, we'll put that over there and that over there. So you can see just that the UT02 will throw a little bit further than the Klarus XT12GT. No PWM on the UT02. Okay, I'll put that in medium. So yeah, basically, like, even if they're about the same brightnesses, you can see the UT02 is still a little bit tighter. Not by heaps, but it is a little bit tighter. Alright, next off we'll try my C8 direct drive with the XPG3. Alright guys, this is the Klarus XT12GT on the left and my custom made Convoy C8 on the right. They should be at about the same brightness levels. You can't tell 110%, but they should be fairly close. Let me just cycle back down. So that's about even now. So you can see that their hotspots are pretty much about the same. If I put them over here and then over here. The C8 is actually a little bit bigger hotspot. but it does appear to me that the C8 can actually outthrow the XT12GT, maybe because it is that little bit brighter. It is running direct drive at 8 amps, so it could be doing upwards of 1800 lumens, I guess. But yeah, they're pretty similar. Similar in actual physical size too, and similar beam patterns and throw. I'll leave that video. If I can't fit inside this one, I'll make it into a separate video, and you'll see what I mean, guys. Alright guys, now we'll just check out how the XT12GT does lighting up my backyard. You can see it lights it up very easy. Pretty narrow beam, as you can see. There is actually a lot of moisture in the air. Right now I've got it on the tactical settings, not the outdoor settings. So if I cycle through modes, it's going to go to like high and then medium. It's not going to do low. I'll have to change the settings and show you guys. So basically, to get to the other setting mode, it's a bit of a pain, but I'll do it in front of you guys so you can see. Okay, so you got to hold the push to change mode button. And this is what I mean, like you're leaving on strobe for about 10 seconds just so you can get into the other UI. Okay, now I can change it, and I'll have my low, medium, high, and then turbo again. Alright, so now we're in the outdoor settings. It still turns on high mode, which is 1600 lumens for 1.2 hours. Obviously it steps down, but Klarus says it will last 1.2 hours by stepping down. I'll show you to 100 meters. So you can see to 100 meters makes it there like easy as. That's cruisy. You can see the whole tree like perfect. Alright, so you can see more than enough light to light up my whole backyard. Very, very easy. If I believe correct, next mode is low mode, so 10 lumens for 200 hours. So this is low mode. You can still see it reaches the back wall. To be honest, it looks a little bit brighter than 10 lumens, but I'm not 100% sure because it is pretty low, but then the beam is very tight too, so that might also help it appear a little bit brighter. Next up, medium mode, 100 lumens for 14 hours. This is actually a pretty good mode. Gives you just enough light. High mode, 400 lumens for 4 hours. This is a great mode too. If I show you like around my backyard, you can see that that's more than enough light. We'll try this at 100 meters on high mode, 400 lumens. So it gets there. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that, but I can see it lighting up the tree pretty good. Not perfect, but then again it's only 400 lumens, so you can't expect too much. And then we'll go back to turbo, and you have a whole 1600 lumens. We'll try it against my modded C8 and we'll see how it does. Alright guys, so this is my modded C8 on, XPG3 running direct drive. You can see the tint is pretty different. If I show you at 100 meters, it does just as good job. You can see how bright it is. This light is bright as. Alright, so inside my backyard with both these lights on is going to be too bright. It's almost 4,000 lumens. Alright, you've got the Klarus to the left and the C8 to the right. So even on the back wall, it does appear that the C8 has a tighter hotspot. That'll be the difference between the domed and the de-domed LEDs in both. The C8 just stepped down. Otherwise, like size wise, output wise, and everything, runtime wise, they're pretty close. Because the C8 is running such high amperage, you're not going to get the longest runtimes. But this is what I mean. I'll leave the XT12GT on. Like, this light is seriously a modded C8 killer. It performs just as good as what that done up C8 does, and that C8 is pushing the limits to the extreme. That's a single die LED running at 8 amps. AR coated glass. I ground back the centering ring. I've got all the springs bypassed, running a high drain cell. and yet a light like this from the factory, the Klarus XT12GT, can just come out and can perform just as well as what that C8 can. Next up we'll put on the UT02 and see how these two do together. Alright guys, so we've got the UTorch UT02 on. You can see it's already bright, about 1300 lumens. And then now we've got the Klarus XT12GT on to the left and UT02 to the right. You can see that the Klarus XT12GT is a lot brighter, but then you can also see that the hotspot is a little bit tighter on the is a little bit tighter on the UT02. Naturally, it's a lot bigger light, a lot bigger and a lot heavier, so it will throw further. But then again, there is a pretty massive size difference. The UT02 is like almost twice as big, at least at the front end it's twice as big as the XT12GT. Output wise, as I said, the Klarus beats it hands down. Alright, next up we'll put on the Eagle Eye X6 with XPL HI and we'll see how that does. Alright guys, now we've got the Eagle Eye X6 on. You can see it's on the highest mode. It is a super bright light. Let me show you first to 100 meters how it does against the XT12GT. So that's the Eagle Eye X6 there. You can see it does a pretty good job. This is a 3000K tint too, so it's not going to throw as far naturally as the neutral white tints will. And that's how good the XT12GT does. I'm only momentary switching it, so that's why I was stuffing it up then. Alright, now we'll move back to the backyard. Yeah, so as I was saying, output wise they're very similar and very close. But yeah, throw wise the XT12GT is a class above the modded Eagle Eye X6 that I'm pushing to the absolute brink. Alright guys, basically that wraps up the review of the Klarus XT12GT. I think like price to performance, I know I say this a lot, but right now for the price that this light's going at, it's pretty hard to beat. Like even for me personally to mod a C8, it's gonna cost almost the same, I could say, a little bit less, but then I'm not also getting the build quality overall. I'm not getting the IPX rating, the user interface, all the extra goodies, the inbuilt chargers and stuff. If I was to add that in, it's pretty much going to cost exactly the same, like at least if not more. So yeah, so to me personally, I feel it's a great buy. It's pretty much going to at least keep up with most of the done up C8s out there. Maybe if you put a XPG2 in it and de-domed, that'll outthrow this, but then output wise it's not going to be even close. You'll be looking maybe half the lumens in output, if maybe a little bit over that. But yeah, so basically all over, this light's great. It's a great build quality. I love it. I can't fault it, like seriously. Like, I've been using it now for three weeks. It went away with me when I went fishing, and it's been great the whole time. Yeah, so I'll try and leave the I'll try and make another video of showing you guys the beam shots. Sorry, it's a bit late. And yeah, as always guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe, and I hope I actually got everything in there that I was supposed to get in about the light. Alright, thanks guys.